Good morning, welcome to GrainTV. My name's Cody Bills, this is Logan Burgess. Today's October 1st, one day after the stocks report. Let's get into where the market's trading. We got corn for December trading up 4, beans down 27.5, and wheat down 18.25. Kind of a real switch for soybeans and wheat as we saw them rise as soon as corn hit lock limit on the trade day on Friday. Now it seems like beans and wheat are unwinding. I think a lot of the volume that was kind of trading corn, as soon as that hit lock limit, they started trading some beans and wheat, but they seem to be taking some off the table here this morning. Do you think that the bounce that we saw on Friday has any sticking power, or are we going to continue lower?
You know, Cody, I'm worried about the ability for this bean market to move higher right now, just based on how fundamentally bearish this report was. If we quickly review what we saw come out on Friday here, you know, the USDA pegged quarterly stocks on September 1st at 169 million bushels. As you can see here, the trade was expecting around 131 million bushels, 22% higher here than what the trade was expecting. If we kind of dig into these numbers a little bit closer here, where does this additional bushels come from? It's reflective of the USDA actually raising the 2011 production by about 38 million bushels. So if you look at that, that totally accounts for this higher reported number here. That means that the trade had the demand side, the usage side of the beans equation figured out, but it was this curveball coming in here from the USDA pegging that 2011 production higher. A lot of people took issue with this. The bottom line, though, is that there's more beans available right now than what the trader's expecting. It's bearish on the market. Like the number or not, it's going to be traded here in the weeks moving forward.
Well, that sounds fair enough. As soon as kind of the exuberance wore off of the report on Friday, it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a hangover, and I think that we could continue lower here. If you switch over the chart, you can see that yellow line is a very strong support level. So I think part of the buying that we saw was buying on that support level, and I think that if we go through that, we could unwind here. And let's go through a couple of the reasons. Number one, the crushing margins out of China are narrowing. They're not quite as good as they have been, so that's going to weigh on demand going forward. But also, we got the supply and demand report coming out on the 11th, and I think that traders will start focusing on that, and I think that there's definitely potential for soybean yield to come in higher than expected. And I think, talking to an extension agent out of North Dakota, they were saying that the supply there, or the actual production, the harvest that they're getting out of the fields was much better than they expected. They thought they'd get 35 bushels an acre, and they're coming in well above that. And I think that that is a pocket, that is just a smaller part of the overall production in the U.S., but I think that there is anecdotal evidence out there that we could have bean production that weathered the storm a little bit better than corn, and therefore comes in higher than expectations, and expectations are the key right there.
Right, if we look at private analysts, they've been varying widely right now. Kind of the variability of yields out of this crop is kind of the name of the game this season. So certainly October 11th is going to be a big day to put on your calendar there in terms of fundamentals for both corn, soybeans, and wheat. Cody, if we look at kind of crop production, crop progress, that will be coming out this afternoon. What are we kind of expecting out of that?
Yeah, for corn we'll be having, or analysts are expecting around 55% harvested for corn, coming out from 39% last week. For beans, we're going to expect around 35 to 37% harvested, coming from 22% last week. So if we miss any of those expectations, that could move the market. And of course, we've had pretty good weather, so we are definitely moving along at a very fast pace here for harvest.
Certainly, combines are rolling out there across the Corn Belt right now. We'll keep you posted about harvest pressure on Twitter. At GrainTV is where you can find us there when that report gets released this afternoon. I think that wraps up our show here for Monday morning. Cody, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Take care.